So today we are looking at commitments. It's a very, this is going to be a very wonderful session. And I believe that we'll enjoy the best from it. So let's begin as usual. We are looking at the agenda for today. So we'll look at who we are as a foundation, especially for those of you who are joining us for the first time. I know when you hear maybe SFSS or say family society, you're like, oh, that relationship people, or that marriage people, or that family people. So we'll take some time to look into us and what we do and what we stand for as an organization. Okay. Then we'll do a short introduction. This is where I'll involve you in an enrolling question to have a short discussion. We'll look at Gamophobia summary table. I'll explain what Gamophobia is for those of you who have not heard it before. We'll look at forms of dead end commitments. Okay. We'll look at redefining commitments or traditional vows. Whether should we redefine the traditional vows, the one we speak to ourselves or to each other before the altar? Do we? A lot of people are redefining it, so I want to take your intake on that. We'll look into that also. Then we'll look at the reasonable grounds for breakup, and we'll look at the reasonable grounds for divorce. Then again, we'll delve into another discussion. We'll look for a reason for gamophobia. So we'll discuss it. Okay. Okay, good. So, who we are as an organization, as an institution, we are Safe Family, Safe Society, also known as SFSS Global, and our core mandate is to nurture and groom and grow relationships. Okay, we believe that connections or human interactions and human relationships plays a major and a key role in our formative years and in our development as a society, as an individual. We believe there is a reason why you were not born an island. There is a reason why you were born in a family, you were born in a state, you were born in a city, you were born in a country. There is a reason why you attend a particular school you attend. There is a reason why you find yourself amongst a group of people at a particular point in time. One of the benefits of relationships, connections, having face-to-face interaction with people, airing your view with people, is that it plays a significant role in who you are and who you become as an individual. So you read a lot of statistics, like the one I usually share with you from the California Health Department at the US, which have given us some statistics to make us understand that the presence or the absence of connections or relationships in your life as an individual goes a long way to affect your longevity on earth. And that is how early or premature you die as an individual. It is tied to the connections and the relationships you have around you. Your ability to reduce complications during pregnancy, during labor, when you are delivering, is tied to the support system you have around you. Your ability to be the absence or the presence of you being hospitalized for a mental health disorder is highly attributed to people, the individuals you have around you. And these things may not seem somewhat important to us as Africans, but when you are deprived of it, then it will begin to make sense to you. Personally, um, because of certain situations, I've been indoors for I think 2 weeks now, 2 weeks or almost 2 weeks straight. I just go out and buy food and I come back in. I'm just indoors, not really interacting with people on the outside. And I'm seeing the impact. It is affecting me, it is impacting me, it's affecting my emotional regulation, it's affecting how bubbly and vibrant I can be. Because already I'm an introverted person. I'm in sachet them almost 2 weeks now. Just go out and buy food and come back and not interact, having a face-to-face interaction with people. So when you are being deprived of it, then it now makes sense to you why relationships are important. The relationships are like medicines to your soul. Good ones, when injected into your soul, can give you the best in life, the connections you have, but the absence of it can tremendously impact you. So we as a society or as an organization, we look at how you can value and grow and nurture and establish the relationships you have around you because they play a key role to your growth, your advancement, and your development. Okay. So let's delve into it. So I'll take one submission from a girl, from a lady and a guy, then we can zoom into it. So this is the question on board. Why do you desire a relationship? And why do you want to get married? Okay. So can anyone answer for us? So it can be personal. Why do you desire a relationship? Why do you want to get married? Because time is not on our side, so I want us to be as quick as possible. Can anyone share with us? Mr. Asare Felix, please can you share with us why you desire it? So if you are already in a relationship, fine. So why are you in that relationship? Okay. And why do you desire to get married? So let me hear from some of you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
This question. All right,
Is,
so
is it a tough one?
it's not necessarily, but thank you for the
Okay.
opportunity for
Mm.
sharing my view on this. Okay,
Mm.
so should I make it personal or broad?
Yeah,
Broad.
personal. Personal.
Okay, so
Mm.
well, I desire a relationship
Mm.
because even in the Bible it says the woman was created for the man. So,
Okay.
well, I desire a relationship to have somebody that will think like me, we will think together to build
Mm.
a kingdom, let's say a kingdom system, anything
Okay.
that it relates to the purpose of God, we fulfilling it together. Because I
Mm.
believe the Bible even says one will kill 1,000 and two will kill 10,000. So if
Mm.
I want to do a lot of things for the kingdom, or if God wants to use somebody to do a lot of things in the world, then
Mm.
having a partner will help the
Mm.
person do more. So that's why I desire a relationship and to take it to
Okay.
marriage. Because I believe if I have someone with me, and the
Mm.
person's goals and my goals align together, we can do big things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm. Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
also, lastly, companionship.
Mm-hmm.
That's also very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So you desire a relationship because of collaboration. So both of you can do more than you could have done if you were to be alone. And then again for companionship. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Because I've
I
seen
love
you,
love.
sorry, you said you love. So I was even coming to ask you about it.
Yeah, it's sweet. Love is sweet.
Oh.
But I mean, I think I've always been family oriented. I've always wanted to get someone who I would partner with for life, someone who understands me, someone I understand him,
Mm.
someone that our visions align, someone I can work together and call a best friend
Mm.
and still share romantic love with.
Mm.
I've always had, should I say, this fantasy growing up. And let's say my fantasy has become a reality now. So,
Mm.
yeah, I am a happy girl and I love love.
Okay. So why? Why
Thank
do
you.
you love?
Because it's
What is it about
beautiful.
love? Okay.
It's beautiful. I think when you even look at the commandments Christ gave, the two
Mm-hmm.
major commandments, they were both
Mm-hmm.
centered on love. So who am I?
Okay.
Who am
Wow.
I? I mean, so
Interesting.
um I think when you do things God's way, it's beautiful
Mm.
and I'm happy where I am at the moment.
Thank you so much. Let's move to the next phase. So, when we talk about gamophobia, we are talking about the fear of commitment. We are talking about the fear of marriage. We are talking about the fear of attachment. People fear commitment. When we say, "Oh, who are we? What are we? Is this moving to the next level?" They are like, "No, we are not moving to any level. I love the level here." Okay. So gamophobia simply means the fear of commitment, the fear of attachment, the fear of marriage. Okay. So there is a little statistics here to open up the conversation. Um, according to the statistics from US, again in Africa, especially in Ghana, we don't have any credible um, sites or institutions that serve us with very good statistics. So sometimes we implore this from the developed world and see how it also works or aligns in our part of the country. Okay, so specific phobia prevalence in US, that's about 12.5 percent of adults have one level of fear or the other. Okay, so when we say phobia, we are talking about fear. Now, when it comes to the fear of commitment itself, 19% of the general population fear commitment. So either they are single, you are single, and you don't want to attempt anything relationship, or you are in a relationship, but you don't want it to move to the next level of marriage or courtship, or you are in between subcultural or alternative forms of relationship with no level of commitment whatsoever, and you enjoy that space because you fear commitment. You don't want to be in that space of commitment. So 0.95 out of 5 people actually are actually resistant or hesitant when it comes to commitment to a relationship. Okay, and this will help you understand why the breakup rates or the divorce rates has skyrocketed. Part of it is largely attributed to the fear of commitment. I've seen people in a relationship situation, but then when they've been there for some time, maybe some years, and their partner is like, okay, so can we get married? Can we take? Then they're like, oh no, no, no. I want to check some few things, so I'm not ready yet, or something like that. There are a lot of reasons that constitute that idea. Okay, so 1.9 out of 10, when you pick 10 people, 1.9 of them have little hesitation when it comes to commitment. Now, when it comes to fear of commitment among singles, then it's about 29.5%. That means when you pick a sample size of 5 people, 1.5 of them don't want anything that has to do with relationship or marriage because they fear commitment. They know what commitment comes with, so they dread it. Okay, now they will explore other alternatives, forms of relationships, but the one that will ask them to be committed, it becomes a struggle. And some years back, it was something that was prevalent amongst the men, but now the women are also gradually catching up. So it's not only within the men's fear. No, women are also have this level of fear and plight when it comes to commitment. Okay. Then again, fear of commitment amongst those in relationships, again, is about 11.7. So when you pick a sample size of 5 people, 0.58 of them they are in a relationship, all right, but they dread marriage or they dread the next phase. Let me go and see your parents, go and see my parents. Let's do this. Let's make this more structural and practical. I think we've been dating for some time now, we've been in a relationship for some time now. I want us to do it proper. 1.17 out of 10 people will say, nah, they enjoy the space they are in right now. And then again, the odds of being single due to fear of attachment, due to fear of commitment, is 2.06 times higher. Okay, so people will remain single according to the statistics. I'm not spelling doom on people, but people will remain single 2.06% higher because of their fear of commitment, their fear of attaching themselves to another individual. Okay, when people say things like they are not ready, they are not ready, they are not ready, the underlying factor behind they are not ready, for the sake of this message or this context, largely is attributed to the fact that they dread and they fear commitment. Okay. Now, the odds of preferring singleness due to fear. Some people prefer to be single. Oh, nah, I'm okay. I'm okay in the state of singleness. Now, of course, there are some people who must be single. You must remain single because there are a lot of things you need to work on and work at. Okay. However, some people may remain single or may prefer to be single just because they fear commitment. Then again, there are a set of people who are between relationships. So the first relationship has ended, and they are not putting in the work to be in another relationship. And sometimes, so I was speaking to one lady, and she was telling me that, "Me Godwin, I've maximized my singleness very well." And I'm like, "Okay, how do you mean?" She's like, "Oh, my last relationship ended 5 years ago, and I've not been in a relationship till now." And I'm like, "Okay, so what is preventing you from being in a relationship?" Now, it wasn't like I was putting pressure on her, but we're having relationship conversation. So what's preventing you from being in a relationship now? She's like, "Oh, she's not ready and all of that." And I was like, how impactful was the 5 years experience? Then she began to share this, and I'm like, so that is what is influencing you being between relationships. The reason why you can't move to the next one is because there has been an impact in the previous one, and you have not put in the necessary work to detoxify yourself from the impact of the previous one. That is why you are struggling to enter into another one. So it made sense why people will be between relationships. It's due to fear because something has transpired in their past. Okay. Then again, gamophobia, which, let me say, commitment, is the leading constituent or the leading cause of relationship and marital failures. According to the statistics, it contributes to about 73% of the divorce rates, which is crazy, right? Yes, it is, but we are going to delve into it. Okay. Okay, good. So, so we are just trying to deduce from the statistics, okay, that about 1 in 8 adults may experience a specific phobia at some point, including gamophobia. So, 1 in 8 adults, when you take a sample size of 8 people, 1 out of the 8 of them experience a level of fear, and that fear includes the dreading marriage or dreading a committed situation, a committed relationship, okay. Um, then again, nearly 3 in 10 singles display elevated fear of commitment. So when you pick sample size of 10 singles, 3 of them dread commitments and attachment. So that is to explain why some people may remain single or some people may be in the state of singleness for years. It is because of what they have seen, what they've heard, what they've experienced themselves, or what travels around. So because of that, they dread that commitment. So 3 out of 10 singles. And I think it's a major concern. If you are not seeing it, I'm telling you that it's a major concern because fear on its own is not good. Okay. But if 3 out of 10 singles, that's quite a huge number. And I've counseled one lady like that who said she's never going to get married. Okay, she will have children, all right. She wants to be a single mom, but marriage, the FN marriage, then she's not going to enter. And the reason they sounded legitimate. So I made her understand that I don't have any problem or there's nothing wrong with you deciding not to get married. In fact, Jesus Christ in the book of Matthew stated that some people will not get married. Some are Enoch, some will not be given to marriage, some will not desire marriage. Some like some Roman Catholic priests or Roman Catholic priests, they don't get married, right? So there's nothing wrong with you deciding not to marry or not to enter into a relationship, but the motive or the reason is very important. If it is for legitimate reason, fine. If you don't desire it, fine. Some people they don't have any desire, any natural desire for the opposite sex. It, it, it it's that is how they are, and there's nothing they can do or you can do about it. Some people they don't have any affection to the opposite sex. Some people they've decided to consecrate themselves, maybe for the work of God, for the work of ministry, whatsoever. So if the reason is legitimate, it makes sense. But if you don't want to be in a committed situation because of fear of the unknown, fear of what can happen in the fear of the future, fear that this person may leave you, this person may abandon you, then we need to address the fear. Now, listen to me. We are not necessarily forcing you to marry or to enter into a relationship, but we want to address the fear because fear is not good. Fear is evil. Fear is not right. So if your reason for not entering into a relationship dynamic or marriage or being or to be committed to a situation or to a relationship is because you are fearful, then we need to address that fear. If after addressing that fear, okay, because the fear may be rooted in a lot of things we'll be discussing in the last agenda. So please don't leave. Okay. So if we're able to address the root cause of the fear, then and you still decide you will not enter into marriage, then fine, or you will not be in a committed situation, fine. But we need to address that fear because that fear will not help you at the end of the day. Okay. So nearly 3 in 10 singles will display that. Then even among people in relationships, a notable portion, like 12%, will still experience significant anxiety when it comes to commitment. And yeah, and so nothing is cast in iron. Okay, the reasons may vary. And that is why we are going to look at them or address them. So the fact that you are in a relationship with someone doesn't mean that they have the same mentality or idea with you that they are going to settle down in marriage with you. It may not have to be about you, okay, but personal issues or things they may be going through. I think one guy reached out to me that he's proposing to this. Uh, not propose. Sometimes I can remember the way I'm propose and also hard you need to be confident and bold and put your concern or what you desire out there. Whether this is the woman you want, be bold about it. Don't be sending texts and be passing around the corner and be checking up in the morning and be sending flirtatious messages for her to catch the idea. Sometimes they've caught the idea but don't mind you. So in this case, the lady knew where the guy was moving towards. So um I think in the conversation, they were doing this anonymous message on status, like, send me this anonymous message. So the lady sent that anonymous message. And because he knows the lady, he knew that this is coming from this lady. And then the lady made us, and the lady said her worst fear is to get married, something like that. And the guy, I don't know, I can't. So he was sending me the message to, what does it mean? Why is she saying this? And I'm like, have you had a conversation with the person? Have you been proposed? Have you told the person your intention? If you haven't, then this beating around the bush is not helping. Okay. So I'm saying that to say that you may be in a dynamic with someone, but you guys may not be like-minded or be on the same wavelength or on the same page because of a significant anxiety about fear that they may be experiencing. And until you take your time to have that conversation with them, you will never know. Okay. So you need to be mindful of that. Then there is also elevated fear, which strongly correlates with being single or between relationships, like I've explained. This underscores how this fear can shape people's life decision. Some people are in a situation or in a relationship dynamic out of fear. Okay. They decide to be with that person because they know this person will not require so much commitment from them. They decide to stay with this particular individual because they know, this person will not hold me so much accountable. Yes, we are just testing the waters and seeing how this will go, but we are not sure. And it's like both of us are okay with that. So they stay in that dynamic for long. Whereas they will run away from people who are really serious about them. So it's like when a guy comes to you and makes his intention known to you that, oh, I want to marry you, phew, you are gone. Marry anything about marry, you are gone. You see, and you're allowing that fear to shape your life's decision. Now you may find someone who genuinely loves you, who truly loves you. But you've experienced something before, you've seen something before, you've heard something before. And that alone is affecting the trajectory of your life and it's affecting every aspect of your life. So fear of commitment can actually shape the trajectory of your life's decision. Okay. Now, when we pay attention to the relationships of the past, the medieval kinds or the traditional or the societal kind of relationships, especially the ones that our parents are experiencing or our forefathers experienced, you realize that there is a significant difference in terms of their commitment level and our commitment level as Gen Zs, okay, in this dispensation. There's a significant difference. When you pull the divorce rates or the divorce statistics back then, it's only 5% of people who get married eventually end in divorce, unlike our time where it is 55%. So the statistics are even saying that when you are making a choice of a partner, to a large extent, try to involve people in authority or the elderly so they can also guide your life's decision. Okay. Truth is, yes, we have autonomy now. We can make our life's choices now. It is not the kind of setting where your mother or your father must hold your hands and go and give you to someone to marry forcefully. No. We have free will. We need to make our choices. However, you need to still involve authorities, involve counselors, possibly involve your parents, involve your pastors, involve someone, an elderly, and have that discussion with them because of the level of the understanding when it comes to commitments. They can guide you on certain decisions you can make when it comes to a life partner. I'm not saying depend on them solely because that also comes with a certain level of traditional and societal mindset or cultural perception when it comes to marriage. However, you want to include them because if there is anything we can learn from them, it is that resilience, that die-hard level of commitment they had. Now, a lot of things influenced that level of commitment. And of course, you can share with me um, maybe just a glimpse of your parents' marriage, and we'll all be honest that some of them are in a dying situation, but they have to stay. And the reasons they give will be because of the kids, because of society, because of the church, and all of these reasons, which in the natural sense is not making sense with us. Okay. But that is the society they found themselves in. That was the cultural setting they were brought up in. So some even stay to the extent of dying, losing their lives in such situation because of that level of commitment. I'm not saying that that is what we should also embrace or elevate, but I'm saying that we can also learn from them. We can also learn that resilience and that level of commitment they had, that they were able to stick through the weather with their significant other, and they were able to go through life's toughest decisions and life's hard things that life brought to them. It's because of that level of commitment. Now, the first thing that influenced the high level of commitment our parents and forefathers had is because of how they treasured marriage, because of the sacredness of marriage. So religion played a major role in that. Okay, now religion does, but because a lot of people are significantly drifting apart from religion and from believing in God and all, it is again affecting our commitment level. But in the times of our parents and our forefathers, religion was especially in this part of the world, in Africa, religion was a big deal. So because of that, our parents treasured the sacredness of marriage. So they don't enter into it flippantly. It's not a casual decision they make. That is why their parents make that decision for them. I hope you understand me. Your parents must make that decision for you because they know that it's marriage is not something you enter into it casually. It's not something you dabble into it anyhow. It's not a game like chess you play anyhow. No. So that sacredness they attached to marriage, and that underpinned the concrete, concrete reasons why they decided to be in marriage, was a reason why they sticked to the marriage, because they valued and cherished and honored it. Like Bible says that marriage is honorable in all, the bed is undefiled. So they honored marriage, they revered marriage, the institution of marriage. They know it is God given and God sent. Because of that, they don't do it anyhow. They are very cautious of how they enter into marriage, and their reasons are legitimate, not checking each other out for experience, and all of these flippant reasons our generation give, but they make sure that no, those reasons are very concrete, and those are the reason why they will stay. Now, number two, society also played a huge role in the high level of commitment our parents experience because of shame and stigma. Now, shame in itself, it's not bad. Let me be honest with you. Shame is not bad, but stigma, yes, is very bad. You can't be pointing fingers at someone because they decided to end their relationship or because they decided they were not going to get married again. You can't be pointing fingers at them. However, shame from society and stigma from society also made our parents stay in that committed marriage. They couldn't leave because there was going to be stigma, they were going to be stigmatized, they were going to be shamed and hooted at, they were going to be deprived, because divorce was seen as something evil, divorce was seen as something bad. And some even attach biblical reasons to why a divorced person is evil. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. And they give the example that God says, I hate divorce. Yes, God says I hate divorce, not the divorcee or the divorcer, but I hate divorce. So you see, it is not the individuals that God hates. It is the act of divorce that God hates. And God hates divorce because of divorce's impact on the individuals that he loves. I hope I'm making sense. So some people say that, yes, divorce is evil. Now, I'm not again instigating divorce. Please don't hear what I'm not saying, okay? I'm not instigating divorce. I'm only making you understand that divorce is not evil, okay? And God hates divorce, not the divorcee or the divorcer. He hates divorce because of the impact of divorce on the individual he loves. It is like sin. God hates sin, not the sinner. And God hates sin because of the impact of sin on the people he loves, because sin is destructive. Sin will destroy you. Sin will not make will strip you of your potential. Sin will strip you of hearing from God. Sin has a lot of impact in humanity. So God hates sin because of the impact of sin on the individual. So it's the same way with divorce. So society, put some level of stigmatization on divorce. And when people go through that, they are shamed, they are hooted at, they are alienated, they are isolated, they are relegated to the background and all, which is wrong. Okay. So then the third reason why, largely speaking, divorce was not recorded in the times of our parents or our forefathers is because of economic hardship. Charlie, in fact, the reason why they are putting you together is for economic benefit or economic advantage. They are pairing you with another person who has money or another wealthy person. So if the person is treating you anyhow, you cannot leave. Now the person is feeding your parents, feeding your entire generation. The person is feeding them. So if the person is messing up, what right do you have that you are going to? Your parents will not allow you. In fact, they will drag you back into the house. So economic hardship was also preventing people from living even toxic marriages or toxic situations. Okay. Unfortunately, in our generation, now we need to appropriate these three things I mentioned, and I hope that it really resonates with some of you, or if not, all of you. Okay, the sacredness of marriage, the shame that is attached to divorce or breakup, then again, economic hardship. Now, when we come to our dispensation, because of the reduction or the gradual deterioration in faith and religion, people no longer, or majority of people don't attach any level of sacredness to marriage and relationship again. That is why we enter into it flippantly. That's why we enter into it with the wrong motive, for the wrong reasons, just for convenience and all of that. So we don't attach any level of, reverence and honor to the institution of marriage. And that is accounting to the reason why, or that is accounting to why people are experiencing multiple breakups and divorces in our dispensation, because we think it is normal. It is not God's institution. It is an institution that has existed, and you can do it anyhow, you can attempt it anyhow. So because we are not attaching that level of honor and reverence to marriage, it accounts for that reason. Because now, if you attach a certain level of sacredness, like Felix mentioned, that marriage is an institution from God and God designed it for the betterment of the parties involved, and you are attempting God's institution, of course you have to do it with a certain level of reverence. You have to be circumspect. You have to be judicious and meticulous about how you are attempting this institution. You have to ask yourself concrete core questions. Why you want to get married? Why you want to enter into a relationship? Are the reasons legitimate or illegitimate? Because you know that this is not something you can just badge in and badge out at any time. No, but it's something you are doing for the long haul. It is something you are doing with a motive and an intention in mind. So if we can attach that level of sacredness to marriage and relationships, then we are going to treat it with a sense of urgency. Number two, we need to still allow shame. Unfortunately, in our generation, again, because of the social media um, movement and the things we see online, it has again dissipated the shame that comes with. In fact, they are now praising people who divorce and people who break up unlike how it was in the times of our parents or our forefathers. Okay, so in our dispensation, they rather give you a thumbs up for leaving that guy, for leaving that lady. Now your reasons may be legitimate. I'm not saying they're legitimate. Okay, they praise you when you divorce your partner. They are like, yeah, yeah, it's good you divorce that husband, it's good you divorce that wife. So there is no shame. But again, like I said, when you lose your shame as an individual, you eventually lose your integrity. It's just a matter of time. If you are shameless, hey, my goodness, just like you can't walk on the streets naked because of shame, because your integrity is at stake. It's the same way you need to understand that if you are contemplating this marriage, this relationship, and all of these things we are talking about, then you need to understand that there is a level of shame we need to allow, because at the end of the day, you are going to explain to people who are close by, I mean, people who matter in your life, the reason why you decided to make this drastic decision. Okay, you have to explain to them. That level of shame will make you reconsider a lot of things before you finally decide that, you know what, I'm going to let this down. For example, when I experienced a breakup in my previous relationship, when I was contemplating that thought, a lot of people were in mind. Like, you're going to talk to your pastor about it, you're going to talk to your friends about it, you're going to talk to your parents or your families who are aware about it, that this is the decision you are taking. You are going to give explanation. And especially for someone like me who is in the relationship space, that I'm counseling people's relationships. Of course, at, at a point, you may need to give some explanation or reason why this thing was happening. So you see, that level of shame that is attached to this thing. Oh, someone is disturbing us. Oh, please mute yourselves, mute yourselves. That level of shame that is attached to breaking up and getting divorced can help you rethink a lot of things. I'm not talking about stigma like it was in the times of old. No, stigma is wrong. When someone decides they are breaking a relationship or they are breaking a marriage, it is their decision. We can empathize, we can advise, but at the end of the day, it's their decision. We can't hoot at them, we can't be pointing fingers at them. But I'm talking about the elements of shame that our generation is losing. So we do things anyhow, we don't care, we don't mind. In fact, we'll get people on social media who will give us fans, who will hail us that yes, it was the right decision we did, or we'll get toxic friends who will tell us that it was the right decision we made. Okay. Then again, finally, economic hardship. Now the divorce rate has skyrocketed because people can live on their own. People can be independent, especially for women. They don't have to be at the beck and call of the average man again. So if you are messing up with me, I can leave. I can live with the kids and go and stay in our own apartment. In fact, I even have my own flat. So what are you trying to tell me? So because of liberation and civilization now, we can all be independent as individuals. So we can't stay in a toxic environment for the long haul just because you are providing for us. No, I can provide for myself. I leave. Okay. Now, so what am I trying to say? I guess what I'm trying to say is that we can still learn from the die-hard level of commitment our parents had. Okay, we can learn from them. And I will consider you a mature person if number one, you are going to again attach that level of sacredness to marriage, it's not something you enter in and out flippantly. Okay, number two, if you are going to attach shame to your decision, that you don't just stand up and make decisions, you understand that you need to answer to people, and there are people who will genuinely be interested and they care about you, you care about them. You need to give them reasonable grounds why you are leaving this person or you are abandoning the marriage. Finally, you may have that economic advantage, that economic power to leave that person, but if you still don't allow that to influence your decision. So for some people, their reason for leaving is because I can take care of myself now. Okay. There are a lot of things we can delve into, but if I start, we can't finish today. But their reason, what is empowering their decision is because I can be on my own, I can stay on my own, I can provide for myself, so I don't need you. Okay. But if we can put that aside and still, work through the situation and see if we can salvage the situation, especially in a marital context too. Okay, then that helps. That helps a lot because you have the economic advantage, but you still decide you want to work this out with this person. In other words, you don't allow money or the availability of economic power to influence your decision of breaking up with this person or eventually leaving the marriage. Okay. I hope we are enjoying it so far. So today's culture glorifies short-term relationships and short-term marriage. That is why when you go to, so I have a lawyer friend who also handles these divorce cases in court, and she tells you that people divorce in days, people divorce in weeks. In fact, I listened to one podcast from the Diary of the CEO, and he interviewed James Sexton, who is a divorce lawyer, and the statistics are astonishing that people divorce in weeks, they divorce in days, they divorce in months, and it has become a norm now. And unfortunately, so there will come a generation that will not see the commitment that comes with marriage. There will come a generation who, or they may come a generation if we don't, start working this out ourselves and making sure we are implementing some of these principles I'm sharing with you. They may come a generation who will glorify short-term marriage and relationship and will not see anything wrong with entering into relationship and coming out flippantly and for any other reason at all. And that is not good for the sustainability of marriage or the longevity of marriage and relationships. Because truth is, if I'm with you and you can't guarantee commitment, and I can't guarantee you commitment, then we are both of us are not safe. I don't know my value in that dynamic, and it may prevent me from bringing my all to the table or for giving my all to you because you can leave me at any time. I'm scared you can just pack your things and say you are done, or I'm scared you just call me one day or send me an SMS that we are not doing this situation again. When it happens that way, it heightens the phobia, it heightens the gamophobia statistics I was teaching you a few minutes ago, that I'm scared to give in my all or to put my all because you can leave me at any time. But unfortunately, society is glorifying that. But I don't think that is the idea God had in mind when He was establishing marriage, because it's supposed to be for better or for worse, which again, there are things that people are trying to tweak around the marriage vows and all of that. So I pray that we don't find ourselves to be victims of these things. Now, the negative proponent or impact of all these things I just shared with you is what has led to the dead forms or the dead end forms of commitment. So, because people fear commitments, because people are afraid of attachment and getting married, because of the experience they have seen, which we'll discuss at the last slide, they have strategically developed alternative forms of relationships, or what I call subcultural forms of relationships or marriages, to give them a feel or a taste of what marriage or godly relationship looks like. But they are not going to give their all to that situation. Okay, so there is always an exit door for them. That when I'm not interested, when I'm not doing, I can exit the door at any moment, at any time. And sometimes you hear this when someone is in a relationship with you and you tell the person that, oh, I want to introduce you. The moment they hear I want to introduce you, they are like, I'm not interested. Let's do this privately. Let's do this secretly. Now, part of it is because of the fear. So that when I want to leave you, I can leave you secretly. Please, let's do the relationship secretly. So that when I want to leave you, I can leave you secretly. Let's do it privately. So that when I want to leave you, I can leave you privately. Again, because of the shame that is attached to breakup and all of that, people want to still do it privately. So that when they want to jackpot, they will jackpot without any issue because they don't want to give any explanation to anyone whatsoever. So there is always an exit door for people. Okay. And as a result of that, people are not bringing their all to the dynamic of relationships, especially modern relationships. The reason we will look into them, but people don't want to give their all again. They always want an exit door. Okay. And what I normally tell people is this: if you should, when you are in a room and God forbid there should be a fire outbreak, okay, but there is no exits, say the door is locked by someone outside, okay, and the key is not around. No, in fact, if there is a fire outbreak, what is your first fight or flight response? You take to your heel, you run away. You not think about quenching the fire. You are running away. You are thinking of the exit door. But say, God forbid, it won't happen to us in Jesus' name. Say the door is locked and you attempted opening the door and the door is not opening. Now, what is the next alternative you are going to think about? Quenching the fire. When the thing hits you for the first time, it's about exiting. But when there is no exit door, then it's about finding a way to deal with the problem or deal with the situation or quenching the fire. But if you are designing alternative forms of relationship with exit doors all the time, then when there is an issue, your intuitive action is not to face the issue, is not to deal with the issue, but it will be to run away, to exit, because you are creating alternative forms of relationship that includes an exit door. One of them is cohabitation. And you see, let me just, so all these forms of dead end, when I say dead end, it means they don't amount to anything good. Even though that is your motive or your mindset, they always don't amount to anything good. They are going to wreck you, they are going to affect you, they'll leave you with scars and all of that. Okay. These forms of dead end commitments doesn't make you contribute your all to your partner or to the relationship. And like I said, in the absence of commitment, we are all watching or looking out for ourselves. In the absence of commitment, we are all seeing what we can gain, the benefit we can all derive from the situation. In the absence of commitment, there is no value. In the absence of commitment, there is no security. So I can't really entrust my life with you like that, because we have all created exit door that when a tufan chaya or when it backfires, we'll all exit quietly. No one will know that we pass here, we pass here, will be a funny coin. When that element is present in that situation or that relationship, of course, there can be safety, there can be value, there can be you can't present your full self to them. So what happens is that you give pieces of yourself to these people. You don't give your all to them because there is always an exit door. I made a post some few months ago that until you are truly committed to someone, you don't really know them yet, which is true. Until you are truly committed to someone, it can be committed to your job, it can be committed to a friendship, it can be committed to a romantic relationship, committed to marriage, committed to purpose. Until you can be fully committed to the situation, you will not know this person fully. Because whenever there is commitment, there is safety. Whenever there is safety, there is a freedom to be myself. When there is a freedom to be myself, then I can know you for who you are. Okay, I know a lot of questions are coming, but I'll answer them when we are done with the session. So in the absence of commitment, in the presence of commitment, there's going to be safety. When there is safety, then I can bring my full self to the table. I'm coming to now be free about who I am to you, because I know you will not leave me like that. I know you will not forsake me like that. So because of that, I want to now freely be myself. So if you are creating all these dead end forms of commitment, trust me, the person you are in that situation with, you don't know the person so well. I'm being very honest with you. You don't know the person so well because you've not created that platform of safety for the person to be themselves around you. And for that to happen, you need to pledge commitments in the highest order to them before you can begin to know them for who they are. So someone will say, okay, go, so God, if this is what you are telling me, why then should I be in that committed situation? The person now comes to reveal bullshit to me. Again, that is why commitment can be used as a tool to know, to test, and know if this person is genuinely or truly wants to be in that dynamic with you. Because until you can make them feel free around you, until you can make them have free will around you, you will not know them for who they truly are. So if you are in this dead end forms of commitment situations, then of course you can't have all of them because we are all looking at what we can derive or get out of the situation. So cohabitation, a major form of dead end commitment where we are in a dynamic. It can be staying together or living apart, okay, but we are enjoying all the benefits that comes with marriage or relationships, romantic relationships. But to go to the next level of legalizing it, of standing before witnesses to make it known to the public, not to the whole world like some do on social media, but to make it to the people who matter in their lives, that this is what we are doing together, is difficult for some people. And again, it's because of that exit door. It's because when a tufan one, when there is a problem, I leave. I leave quietly because we are not tied by the law to be together, right? So because of that, people will prefer cohabiting to being in an actual marriage, which is legalized, and they made the vows before the altar and all of that. And I think it's a big deal. Now, people argue cohabiting, but the truth is that the divorce rate is the same for people who are cohabiting. In fact, according to the stats, people can cohabit for 3 years, for 5 years, for 10 years. After they marry, they still divorce in some few months. So it is making you think that, oh, okay, then that means that the cohabiting was the best because when they were cohabiting, they were able to do it for 3 years. Why is it that when they are now married, now they are seeking for divorce? It is because you see, like I said, if you are not in a committed, legalized dynamic, this person cannot be safe to present their true selves to you. They will hide a lot of things from you. In fact, I don't. Maybe you guys can even bear witness that when you were in that friendship or you were in a relationship set, of things you condoned. Maybe myself, I'm a victim. There are a lot of things you condoned, a lot of things you allowed to pass by, a lot of things you're like, oh, it's okay, baby, don't worry. But now that they are committed or you are committed, now you are bringing those same issues and concerns out. The same person who said, I'm not okay with this, the same person who was okay with everything you did. Now, this same person says, I'm not that okay. The same person who used to call you at certain hours, used to text you, used to be all around you. Now, because you are committed, so you are no longer enjoying those benefits. It's not that intentionally they decided they are not going to be committed. Do you know why? It's because now they are being their selves, their true selves to you. And because they wanted that thing from you, they sent a representation of themselves ahead of you so that you will like that person. But the moment they see commitment, now they're like, oh, okay, now I can return to my original self, who I am. So this is where we need to train them that no, the things you used to do, please continue doing them. I'm using that example to make you understand that the reason why you condone certain things at a point is because you didn't want to stir the waters. You didn't want to, you didn't want to destroy the potential of what could happen. So you were waiting for commitment. Now that commitment has come, whether in relationship or in marriage, it's not like you are really going to show your true colors, but you have the safety to now be yourself. And that safety of being yourself has some disadvantages that you need to be working on. So you can be cohabiting for years because there is an exit door. Nothing is really at stake. But the moment we now tie the knots and we've now legalized this, that means that now we have the freedom to be ourselves. And by the freedom to be ourselves, there are certain things we may now be exposing and expressing because we know you will not leave. How we are getting the picture? Because we know you will not leave. Now we can freely enjoy the situation. I don't call you, I call you, you stay. So I understand there is a demise of this commitment and I'm teaching. That is why hopefully you are choosing the right person. You've prayed about it, you've gone for counseling and done all of these things. I'll teach later to help you. Because the truth is that in the presence of commitment, people will be themselves. And sometimes the being themselves may not be good for the relationship. That is why people can cohabit for years. But the moment they settle down in marriage, they may end in divorce because now there is that freedom to be themselves. There is no exit doors. And they miss that thing they used to have where there is always an exit door. And when you interview them or you speak to them, they will tell you that there has been countless times they've gone separated. They've separated themselves because they have an exit door. But what was once separation in the context of cohabiting, now it is termed divorce because there's legal cases involved in the situation. I'm spending so much time here. So people who are practicing cohabiting, people are enjoying friends with benefits because they want to run away from commitments. So you see, it's mutual. I don't want this commitment thing. You also don't want this commitment things. Let's enjoy some benefits. Benefits that people who in relationships, emotional viability, emotional availability, some even engage in sex and all of these things. We can be doing them, but we are not in a committed situation. No, we are just friends. We are only enjoying benefits. People again enjoy dating for fun. Okay. People enjoy indefinite dating. So the indefinite dating, part of it was the statistics I shared with us that um you you are in a committed relationship, but for you to take to the next level of being committed in marriage, oh, wow, yeah, okay, because of that fear. So you will prefer to be in this because people have been dating 5 years, 7 years, and you ask them like, gee, what are you doing? You're like, I'm in a relationship. So what's the next plan? There's no next plan. We like it where we are. It's because of that fear. So they will prefer to be in this situation. Some also enjoy dead end forms of relationships where there is no level of exclusivity, so you can invite other people into the dynamic. We are in a relationship, all right, but it's not between you and I. You can be in a relationship with other people too. It is that for, you see, when it is about you and I in the dynamic, there's a lot of responsibility and accountability that comes with being committed to these two people. But when you open it up, it lessens the impact or the level of commitment. And because people have been hurt before, people have gone through diverse of things, they find safety in this kind of dead end forms of commitment because it doesn't demand or ask so much from them. Because trust me, relationship is responsibility. It's accountability if you are doing it for the right reason. So some even are in situationships where they can't really define what they are doing. And they are okay. Oh. To a large extent, they are okay because they don't want the spotlight to be on them. Let's introduce you. Let me introduce you to my friends. Let them know we are going on. No, no, no. Let me introduce you to my. No, no, no. Let me introduce. No, 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 no. Let's just keep this within us. Now, again, when people are beginning relationship for the first time, they may have their own reason or motive why they want to keep their relationship private to a point. Okay, even private. Yeah, there may be a slight difference between keeping it a secret and keeping it private. Okay, people's relationships are private, which is good. They don't want social media and everyone to know what's going on in their life. Fine. But keeping it a secret is a problem. You can't tell me that you don't have any trusted friend, any best. In fact, this person should be your best friend anyway. So, but you don't have any close friend or anyone you can trust to know that this is what you are doing. This is the relationship you are in. You can't tell me that there is no one like that. Your pastor, your mentor, your boss, or your supervisor, your father, your sibling, your parents, your friends. You can't pick just one or two people to let them know that this is what is going on. Then if that is the case, so you can still keep your relationship private, yet others who are important in your circles will know. But keeping it a secret when no one is just both of you involved, that raises a lot of red flags. Now it could be that okay, because we are starting this from the scratch, or this we are checking the situation, so we just want it to be between us. Fine, but the moment commitment is in view, the moment we are sure that this is what we are doing, Olga, at least if it's one person in this life, of course. When I'm saying one person again, it may be someone that is equally not as correct as they are. Okay, the person is not equally correct like this. So if they're introducing you to the person, there's no safety or there's no guarantee anyway because but I mean, any slight level of accountability that comes to the situation, we need to know. Someone important in your lives need to know that this is what is going on. If the person doesn't know, then you are keeping that relationship a secret. And large portions of the reason why you are doing that is because you want an exit door. That's a two jacker. I can leave the situation. Okay, some are even vying for definite contract marriage. So the marriage we have in the system now is the indefinite contract marriage because marriage is still a contract under the state's law anyway. Okay, but people are vying for the definite ones where we go on marriage as a contract, so we can renew it after every two years or after every five years. I'm not telling you story. These are things that exist in other countries. Okay, so what happens is that if after 2 years we can't continue again, then we separately go our way because the term for the marriage is up. Um, so you see, all these ideas is that longevity that comes with marriage. We are all finding our way around it, breaking and enjoying pieces of it, but not the whole of it. And because marriage is a whole, if you don't if you don't attempt the whole of it, you will not enjoy the whole of it. If you are breaking pieces around it, trying cohabiting, friends with benefit, dating for fun, indefinite dating, open-ended relationships, situationships, and definite contract marriage, you will not enjoy the best that God has designed for marriage. That is why you need to put in the hard work. Okay, now I even believe in evaluating your relationship or your marriage from time to time. Like there is this popular profile on Instagram called Flamingo, and they ask you very thought-provoking questions about your relationship. When was the last time I did something wonderful? What is the memory of me that you keep on reminiscing over? Or something. They ask you very beautiful questions that you can engage with your partner. And I was telling my partner that some of these things you don't really think about them, but when you are asked, they bring a lot of things out of you. They make you appreciate your partner. They make you, it helps you to evaluate the relationship. If there is something your partner is doing wrong, or like they ask a question like, what is this thing I have done that has wronged you, but you have never brought it up? I'm like, wow, okay, now I have the opportunity to talk about it. Because if I should be talking about it in the heat and the business of the day, my partner will probably react and all of that. But under the cool atmosphere, we are being asked this question, and it's not me asking, Flamingo are asking, so we have to answer anyway. So you see, these are ways you can evaluate your relationship. If you don't want to do the Flamingo thing, you can just put down certain questions to ask your partner: Are you happy? Am I making you happy? If we were to renew this relationship, would you renew it? Will you choose me again? Is there anything I've done that you've not brought up but is really eating you up? Some of these questions need to be answered. On a scale of 0 to 10, how will you rate my commitment to you? On a scale of 0 to 5, how will you rate my intimacy with you? On a scale of 0 to 10, how will you rate my communication with you? Some of these things you don't have to go to a counselor to be interrogating you guys. Okay, even though I advise counseling at a certain stage, but these are things you can be doing to sharpen the edge of your commitment and your marriage and all of that. Okay. That's just by the way. Now we are looking at redefining commitment. Let me see the time. Oh, okay. We have about 20 minutes more. We are looking at so we have about 20 minutes more to close. Okay. Redefining commitment vows. It has become a thing now where people no longer say the traditional vows. Okay. I don't even call them traditional vows. I call them commitment vows. It was coined by a bishop in some centuries ago, and he coined this vow because for those of you, it's not in the Bible, okay, but I think it typifies what the Bible says about marriage. And for me, it is steeped into long-term commitments. That is what to me the vow is, okay. And he coined it because of the understanding of marriage that, like Felix said, I want a partner that will be beside, not behind, not before, but that will be beside me for the long haul. I want someone I can trust. I have friends in school, I have friends in class, I have friends in church, I have friends in the society, but I want just this one person that I can pledge my vow and my commitment to. That we are going to go through the thickness of life, we are going to weather through storms together, and I know they've got my back, I've got their back. No matter what, I know they've got my back. Then they are going to be there with me, fighting for me, praying for me, encouraging me, motivating me. Just one person out of the many. Friends will come and go, but this person promises to stay. People will come and leave my life. People will come and form part of the chapters of the page of my life. But this person is the whole book, has come to stay. I want just that one person. Then the commitment says that then you are giving this pledge to this person that you are going to be with this person even through the thickness of life. But then they are again saying that we can't promise to be with someone forever. We can't pledge something we can't keep at the end of the day. And I'm like, if you didn't know you couldn't keep, why were you even there in the first place? Because Dr. Mouse Manuel of blessed memory made this statement that you are ready for marriage when you are not ready to come out of it. In other words, you are ready to enter into a marriage commitment when you've made up your mind that you are not coming out of it. So that readiness is actually seen in your resilience to be committed to this person. So because of that, I decided that let's go through these vows together. So it says, I, for example, Godwin, take thee, Jimmy, to be my wedded wife, okay, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to death, to love and to cherish till death do us part. Then it again says, forsaking all others and other things, okay. Please, if you are really serious about marriage and you really want to enjoy whatever marriage comes with, I want this vow. I don't want you to be hearing this vow for the first time when you are before the altar. No. I want you to be meditating and ruminating over this vow because a lot goes into it. Okay. Now the points I've highlighted are the ones I'm going to explain. So if you should ask me, please think about this, meditate on this, and make sure you say it before the altar when you are getting married. It says a lot to your partner. Now I know in the face of the ecstasy of the moment, you may not even remember what you are saying. That is why I want you to think about it and consider it now before you are even choosing a partner or before you are going towards the way of marriage. Okay. It says that to have you and to hold you. It's not only me having you, but I want to hold you. And there are two different things altogether. To have means to acquire, to hold means to sustain. To sustain. Now, unfortunately, in our generation, we are good at acquiring things, but we are bad at sustaining or holding them. We are good at purchasing things, but we are very bad at servicing them. So when your iPhone is not working, when there is a leakage in your roof or in your house, when your car or something you have or you possess is not working, your immediate idea is not to change it. Your immediate idea is to fix it, is to maintain it. That is why I advise maintenance in your relationship. So I put a quote that says, if you refuse to service your relationship, it will do you a great disservice. If you refuse to service your relationship, it will do you a great disservice. So in this vow, you are saying that I don't only want to have you, but I want to hold you. I want to maintain you. I want to service you. If there are places in your life I want to fix them. I don't want to change you like I change my iPhone. I don't want to change you like I change my clothes. I don't want to have you today and lose you tomorrow. I don't want to have you today and lose you in the next few months because you are putting up certain attitude and certain character, or we are going through infidelity, infertility, issues or in-law issues or insufficient funds issue, and I decide to let you go. I decide to move on as if there was nothing existing between us. The vow is saying that I want to both have you and to hold you. I want to have you and to sustain you. I want to have you and to service you. I want to have you and to keep you. So we are going to be in this situation forever. Then it now says that for better, for worse. Okay. Yes, we all pray that nothing bad will come our way. But it is life. In fact, as an individual, how many things have you not gone through in your work, in your purpose, in your church life, in your relationships with people, in your friendships? Again, your marriage or your relationship is going to be tested. But you are telling your partner that for the better and for the worst part, you are going to be with them. Now, we expect the best, but we prepare for the worst. We expect the best to come out of life. We expect the best to come out of our relationship and marriage. And we hope and fantasize and pray for the best. However, the worst may also happen, like in the case of Jesus Christ, when he was giving the example in Matthew chapter 7, and it says that when the storm comes, when the rain comes, when the flood comes, he didn't say if. Says that he who hears these words of mine and put them into practice, you'll build your house on a rock, or if you don't hear it, you don't practice it, you build your house on the sand. And it says when. That means that the storm will come, will hit your marriage, to hit your relationship, the flood will come. All these things will try to come at you, but can we weather the storms together? I'm expecting the best from this situation, but I'm preparing myself for the worst. I'm building that tenacity and that capacity. Because what many of you have not realized is that people who are fond of appreciating these dead end forms of commitment I took as true, you are building a habit of not sustaining the ability and the tenacity to be committed through difficult things. So, one indices I tell people to make them know whether they're choosing the right partner is that does this person abandon projects so easily? Does this person abandon friends, abandon work, abandons church, or abandons people so flippantly as if these things or these people are not important to their life? Today they start this thing new, tomorrow they are done. The following day they complain about this person, then they cut off from them. Of course, don't stay in toxic situation. But what I'm saying is that if you are building this exit door kind of relationships, you are training yourself not to be in committed situations. And when it happens that way, you're going to have a hard time being in your marriage because the little thing you're going to threaten your partner that I'll leave you, I'll leave you, because for all your life you have been leaving church, you've been leaving school, you've been leaving friends, you've been switching from friends to another friends, switching from one job to the other. You are not building capacity and tenacity to weather through the storms of life with this your partner. So pay attention to them. Are they quitters? Do they quit so easily? If they do, then they are likely going to quit this marriage or this relationship when there is a late. I mean, if, sorry, Jesus said when, but me, I'm helping you. Let me say if situations and issues bumps on both of you. Okay, so it says for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. All these things telling you that would you stay when your partner is struggling with their health? Will you stay in terms of sickness? I'm not saying they should happen. So let me use if. God forbid they will not happen to us. However, if they should happen, would you stay? That is why to me I think this vow, commitment vow, I don't call it traditional vow. This commitment vow must stay with us as we journey and weather through storm together. Okay. Wow, because of the time, so we have about 12 minutes more. So we are now looking at the reasonable grounds for breakup. The reasons why people give for divorce is significantly different or varies from one when it comes to breakup. Okay, because at least in a relationship setting, we are not married, so commitment varies in stages. Marriage is the highest form of commitment. Okay, however, you may be in a relationship dynamic and you may not know when is it right for me to terminate or end this relationship. Now I even appreciate you ending and not breaking the relationship. That means you settle the separation peacefully. Okay, you don't just stand up and send the person a text message, I'm done with you. No, you meet up with the person, you explain things to the person for the person to understand. There are certain situations, and hopefully you've sought for counsel and done all that you need to do. There are certain situations where the person may be stubborn or may be difficult letting you go because of the value you bring to them or because of how attached they are to you in the situation. Sometimes you may need to put in certain boundaries, but you must at all costs make sure that you ended the relationship and you didn't break the relationship. Okay. Now, the reasonable grounds for breakup are categorized into three. Okay, there are minor defects or minor reasons, and there are massive reasons, then there are major reasons. Okay. So the first one is the minor reasons or what I call relational issues. Okay, these things are not reasons why you should break up with someone. Um, just having a conversation with them and hopefully they are teachable. So having a supportive and a constructive conversation with them, we can work around these things and shouldn't amount to breakup whatsoever. I know for melancholics and perfectionists like myself, you always want things a certain or a particular way. So if that is not being done, you feel you can't handle this, you can't deal with this, please, you can deal with this. Okay. So your case is maybe their table manners is not something good. Please, you can buy a book about table manners for them, or you can teach them. Okay. Constructively and humbly. Okay. Maybe they eat loud. When they are eating, they make noise everywhere or they snore. Maybe you may not know about the snoring part until you guys are married anyway, but snoring cannot be a reasonable ground to divorce. Or they yawn loudly or they belch. I don't know, like my partner will say. Some people, when you belch, it's like their whole world is crumbling down. And especially when you do it without saying excuse me, excuse you, or when you spit around, there are some quirks like people, it aches them, or you grind your teeth, foot dragging, or occasional untidiness. And I'm not talking about laziness here, okay? Or the person laughs loud, and it can be very annoying. The person is disorganized, or has a poor sense of, or has a poor dress sense. Please, these things they are relational issues that can be dealt with. They are not foundational issues for you to go and end the relationship. If this person ticks all other important boxes, and there may be some few things listed here that comes with the person, please, you can work around it. Hopefully the person is teachable, and through constructive conversation and you be patient with them, we can work this thing around. Okay. But then there is a massive defect, and this massive defect, it may include you discussing it with the person, seeing if they can do something about it before you eventually marry them. Because in the long haul, they can have a significant impact on the happiness or the joy in the marriage. Okay. So you want to discuss it with them and ask yourself whether you can truly deal with them. If you can't, be honest with yourself. Okay. But again, you need to be mindful of the fact that these are not legitimate reasons why you let someone very important go. However, if you know you can't deal with them, fine, be honest with yourself. But if they are going to be a problem, they are not foundational issues. They cannot lead to a divorce, or they are not reasonable grounds for divorcing someone. That is why I'm taking you through the relationship aspect. However, you need to have a constructive conversation, involve counselors and mentors, and make sure they are improving before you can, take it to the next level. So something like they're not having a prayer life, if faith is important to you, or you can't rely on them, you can't trust that they'll come through for you for something they've said. They say something today, and the following day they are doing something else. They say something today, but they don't go according to their words, or they are stingy. They are foodies. Okay, that means they don't have a level of discipline when it comes to their food or their eating habits. They are selfish. They don't care, or they don't have empathy. Okay, they are not able to manage a household. They are excessively attached to their parents or their siblings, or they struggle to make a priority. They are not hospitable. They are not open. They are not transparent. They spend anyhow. They are inconsistent, poor time management. Yeah, so poor time management and poor money management. They don't attend church regularly and similar issues. So with this kind of issues, let's talk about it. Let's put structures in place to start seeing improvements. Because if you are going to marry someone with some of these defects, then you are going to ask yourself, in case they don't change, can you handle it? Are you okay with it? If you are not, then let's work around it, because like I said, it can significantly impact the quality of your marriage, okay, if you don't deal with these things because of time. So this is an aspect, a chapter in one of my books I've written. Hopefully we'll be publishing them, then we can I've breaking a lot of things down so you can understand it better. Okay. Then there is the master defect or the foundational one. So for these ones, I wouldn't advise or advocate anyone to enter into marriage or even quality relationship with this person if they've not handled these things very constructively. And as much as possible, sometimes if they are not really self-aware and they can't take inventory of these things, massa, you really go through hell if you find yourself in this situation. Okay. If the person is an unbeliever in terms of faith, unbeliever in terms of your value, unbeliever in terms of your principles, I don't think this person is right for you. Okay. So when I say unbeliever, I'm not talking about a believer and not someone who is not a Christian and a non-Christian only. I'm saying the person is an unbeliever when it comes to your principles. The person is an unbeliever when it comes to your faith. So your faith, your values, and your principles don't align. Please, because values shape us a lot. Our religion, our faith shapes who we are as individuals. A lot of character flaws or defects, or the presence or the absence of character is greatly embedded in the belief system of an individual. So if your belief system are not aligned, then you need to advise yourself. Okay. They are not emotionally intelligent and self-aware. Please, these people are going to drag you to hell. Trust me. I've counseled some. They are going to drag you to hell. There are people who have issues, but they don't know they have issues. Those ones, they are distorting your reality. They are telling you are the problem. When you have brought the issue to them, something they have done clearly, then they are shocked that you are saying they did that. Me, I said this. Oh, no, 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 I can't say this. Like, they are shocked. When you even send a recording to them, they are like, oh, this cannot be you. So they always find a way to gaslight you. Such people are not self-aware. So there are 4 stages. People who are having issues, yeah, they don't know they are having issues. There are those who are having issues and they know they have issues, but they are not doing anything to resolve the issues. Then there are those who are having issues and they are putting in the work and the system to deal with the issues. Okay. Then there are people who are really working on their issues. Please, this level, I'm talking about someone who has issues, anger issues, temper issues, whatever the issue may be, lack of value, integrity, faithfulness, loyalty, commitment issues, but they don't even know. They are not even seeing it. Like, you are wrong, cry. Like, for you to bring this up, you are in the wrong. Please, these people are not emotionally intelligent. They are not self-aware. And you do yourself a great disservice to be with them. They are not teachable. They don't want to grow. How you meet them where they are, that is where they are. So I made a video on YouTube that do people really switch up on you, or you were refusing to grow? Because again, as young as we are, when we enter into a relationship, people accept you not with the mindset that you'll be where you are forever. No. Ask our ladies, they will tell you they love you for who you are and for where you are. Not only where you are, but where you are going. So please, on your mask, please let me still see some improvements and changes. But if this person is not teachable, they are standard, they want to be at where they are, they don't want to improve, they don't want to learn, they don't want to be novel, innovative, and grow with you, they can really be a hell of a challenge in your marriage. Sometimes, they now become intimidated that's like you achieving your career goals, your vision, your purpose, and all, and they are just where they are, and they're even trying to pull you down. They are trying to give you reasons why all these things you are doing, they are not important, or it won't amount to anything, or let's just stay where we are. Please, if this person is not teachable, you can't correct them. They can't just keep quiet and listen to you, share a concern you are having, and they will not work on them. Please, if this person is not humble enough to learn, please advise yourself. If there is lack of trust, there is lack of commitment in the situation, please, you are not in a relationship if the foundation of trust and commitment is not anchoring both of you. Okay, if there's a complete lack of vision in this person's life or initiative, this person doesn't know where they are going and what they are doing in their life, they wake up, they go by the direction of the wind, where the wind except you are like them, then maybe it will work for both of you, even though I don't advise it, but both of you will need to work on them. Lying, stealing, unforgiveness, unfaithfulness, like this person cheats on you. We need to address a lot of things in that way. Uncontrollable temper or strife, violence, drug abuse, irresponsibility, always living or putting the burden on you for you to carry. They are manipulative, verbally or physically abusive, outrightly disrespectful. They don't value you. Please, you need to advise yourself. Okay, these reasons that I give and the other forms, the other reasonable grounds I gave, like the previous two I gave, may not be reason why you actually divorce someone. May not be. Okay, so you need to open your eyes and really shine your eyes, because the reason for breaking up may not be as significant than the reason for divorce. Because when it comes to divorce, now a lot is at stake. That is why you popularly hear a broken marriage, a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. A broken relationship, yes, is better than, yes, because the marriage, when it comes to marriage, a lot of things are at stake, legal issues and family issues, and a lot of things are at stake. So if these things are significant in your relationship now, then we need to have a conversation. If we need to involve a counselor, then let's do so. Because when it comes to marriage, then you can reasonably give up on your partner if they commit adultery. Okay, and even with that, if you still want to stay, you can still stay. If this person threatens your life, in most cases it is physical abuse, because the verbal and the emotional ones, they are consequential, but they cannot be reasonable grounds for you to say you are divorcing someone, except they are threatening your life. That is why you need to shine your eyes. Okay, there can be abandonment, so this person has left you for years and they don't want to continue this thing with you. You have the grounds to divorce. Or bigamy, where they are married to you and they legally go and marry someone else. The court also gives the reasonable grounds for you to divorce such an individual, but you divorce it as adultery, not as bigamy. But bigamy is the legal term that this person is married to you and has also legally gone to marry someone else. Okay, but in all these things, reconciliation is still possible, reconciliation is still allowed. In the presence of these things, you can still, maybe through counseling, through prayers, through strategic structures and all, you can deal with these issues. However, like I said, shine your eyes from here, because the master defects that I just mentioned are the very things that will later manifest in the adultery. Because if this person is a cheat, unfaithful, not loyal, of course they are going to cheat on you in marriage. If they are already verbal and threatening in the previous before marriage, of course in marriage they are going to threaten your life and all of that, because you can't trust them and all of that. Okay, wonderful. So we bring a close to our discussion by looking at the reasons for fear of commitment. Okay, so at this point I would like to take some inventory from you guys to share your thoughts on the reason why people don't want to commit. Maybe it can be it can be personal to you. Okay, you want to share with us, or you don't want to make us know that it is you, but you want to coin it in a way that we can all learn from it. So, why do you fear commitment? Why do you fear marriage? Why does it irk you when it comes to marriage or commitments? Why do you think people avoid marriage or committed situation? Why do you think people would rather choose cohabiting and dating for fun and for experience and casualty and situationships, um, and definite contract marriage and all the other dead forms of commitment I mentioned, why do you think people would choose that over a committed two people dynamic relationship?
This can
Okay,
I
God bless. Yeah, you can talk. You can talk.
Okay. From my point of view, please forgive me. I have severe cold.
Okay,
In my
that's fine.
point of view, I think um people fear commitment in a relationship because of their freedom. Most
Mm,
people think that to be committed in a relationship is an exchange to your freedom. I mean, things you really want to do, you will have to side with the other party and get their idea before you can do it. Maybe their decision is not what you really want, or the idea is not what you really want. But since you are committed, you will have to buy this and try it out to in order not to hurt feelings. Yes, let me say it that way. So people see commitment in a relationship as a loss of freedom. So in that way, they wouldn't commit at all. They wouldn't like to be committed in a relationship. So they will have their freedom. Yeah, that's what I think. Thank you.
awesome. You've nailed it rightly. God bless. Can you do you have a solution in mind, or what do you have to say about that? That's if you have anything to say, what can be done? What perspective can you share, or anyone at all, on the fear of giving up your freedom or your privacy, or allowing someone to invade that privacy that you have as an individual? What do you think? What can you say to such an individual if the person is listening?
Oh, okay. I think more of education and counseling should be done. This particular person, if the partner is aware, should seek for counseling for this person, because being committed actually in a relationship is not a loss of freedom. That is what I think. Yes, it's not a loss of freedom. It's about understanding. Yes, okay, so let's do this. Okay, I would like us to do this first. You haven't lost your freedom if you decide not to do it. It's communication. Just talk to the person, this and this. So I love to do it this way. So let's try my next time we will try yours, and make sure that next time you try, because when it comes to ladies most especially, the next time we don't try ours, we will pick a fight with you. Yeah, it's natural when it comes to us. Yes, whether you like it or not, there must be some kind of petty fights. Yes, sometimes me personally, I just love to see that scene when I'll have to fight you a bit, when we'll have to argue. Yeah, not that I am happy fighting, but it's very intentional. Yes, very, very intentional. Yeah, so this particular person, when you find out that your partner is this kind of person, I think you should seek for counseling for that person. Try educating the person on it, or if the person doesn't want you to educate, then you should seek for counseling from another person or someone you think they respect so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said. Thank you. Please, if anyone has any contribution to what Miss Prissy said, you can add up. Or if you have any significant reason why people fear commitments, please, you can also share your view. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
please, can I?
Over to you, boss. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much. So, I also think one of the reasons why most people fear have this gamophobia is because of exposure, because of what they've heard and seen. Oftentimes, nowadays in our time, you get to see more of the divorce than of the 30 years in marriage, of the 20 years in marriage. People are putting out outside the reasons why their marriages are failing. I remember there was this lady, I think during my sales, I got her number or something. And she, people save your number, so you get to see their for 10 to 5 years or maybe 15 years, and maybe has left the lady or something. Then you put her under it. In fear men, oh, men are this, men are that. And she was doing it almost every day. So this kind of person, it's not because she has experienced it, but it's because of what she has been hearing. You become what you always see. So what that she has been seeing, what she has been hearing outside there, has now influenced her mindset on that. Because obviously people are making know that a woman suffered with a man for about 10 years, and after 10 years the man has left her, and left the children and went to marry another person. You will see somebody who built with a man, another person who did this for a man. And so all these kind of things has entered into her. So she wouldn't want to also commit herself, because she feel, what if it happens to me? That intrinsic fear is now there. So it's inside her. So she doesn't have any, she sees all men the same. So it's like this, and these things is now increasing our time. So I think that is one thing that is really affecting. And if, I don't know how we can go about it, but if the mindset of many people are not transformed to see it in a different light, it will get to a time that these things will become the reigning thing all over everywhere, and people will not trust marriage again, because everybody's saying marriage is a scam. I I'll never do this with my husband. I'll never do. I'll build a house and hide it. I remember I was talking to one lady some time ago. She said before she will get married, she has to have her own house. If the husband begins to behave anyway, she will just move to a house, because she doesn't, because she has seen what her mother went through, and she doesn't want that. So I think this is also one thing that causes all these things. Thank you very much.
Wow, very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Guys, because of our time, I promised we should end. Okay, Beacon Dikaris, please, you can flow. You can flow. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to share something, but wanted to, say something about what my brother just said. I think what he said is very true. I will use myself as an example. For some time now, I think by the grace of God, things have been okay now. But for some time ago, I was very scared to go into a relationship, and the worst of all is even thinking of marriage, all because of my experience of broken home and how that had impact on me and my siblings. So with what my brother just said is something serious. I think we need to pray for a whole lot of people, because I even have friends who are even experiencing some of these things. They can go into relationship, and at a point whereby things are becoming serious, they want to find their way out, thinking that he doesn't want to um, um, endanger himself someday. So that is that for what my brother said. And then also, one thing that makes people scared to um, commit themselves to relationship, it's based on attitudinal um, attitudes of people that they are in a relationship with. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who is always problematic. How can you commit yourself to this individual? Because when you're worrying in Pony, like in and then he or she is putting up attitude that's always going to bring you headache. How much more you putting that ring on the finger? Charlie, or best show no fear you now. So attitude is also one thing. Thank you.
Powerful, powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you. What I want to achieve from this discussion is that we will share the reasons, and again we'll look at the solutions together. Okay. I thank the three of you for your contribution. Unfortunately, we would have to bring the meeting to an end. And what I want us to do is that in our next month webinar, I'd want us to come back to this discussion and look into it very well. We have about 16, 17 of us here. I want us to pledge this. I want us to be committed to this together. So that next month, October, we are going to meet. And that one, I'm not going to prepare any slides, but we are going to look at these reasons why people fear commitments, what the reasons are, and how we can provide solution to them. Because what you guys said are very key, and I don't want us to just brush on them and just move and just be discussing them. No, but we want real-time solution. I believe you are here you've spent so much on data because Zoom consumes a lot. You spend so much on data and your time to be here because you want a real-time solution to your problems. So I don't want us to be flippant about it. So I would want to end here because of the time. Then hopefully we'll meet next month in October at the set time. Then we can, so that one I'm not preparing slides. We are looking at this topic on why people fear commitment and the solutions thereof we can find for ourselves. So we will all look into it, we'll all talk and share our view. Okay. So please, I hope you agree. If you agree, kindly give me a thumbs up. If you agree, give me a wave with a reaction. If you agree, you can let me know you agree. Okay. So Felix agrees, Christopher agrees. Christopher agrees, Jemima agrees. Please, who else agrees? Okay. Hey, please, I can't pronounce your name, but Osei agrees, Bernard agrees. That's fine. Lydia agrees. Good, good. So I'm so sorry we have to end it here, but I believe we've learned a lot.
Hi, no, Freeman.
Yeah, hello.
Please, can I get your contact details?
I'll share it with you. I'll share it here right now. Okay. After giving this announcement, I'll share it with you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So guys, I want to, so whilst we've all, yeah, now you're sharing humble, we've all promised ourselves that we are going to meet next month to discuss what we just started talking about. I want to appreciate you for joining this meeting. And like I said, we are SFSS, Safe Family, Safe Society. And coming December, we have a very big festive activity and retreat that we want to bring your doorway. So that is the flyer you are seeing there. We are going all the way to Ebri to spend 2 days over there on the 20th and the 21st of December. Last year, we went to Akosombo and it was massive. This year, we are going to Ebri. And the rate is 800 cedis per person. It's actually more. We have to subsidize it because we are going on a full 2 days. So we'll go there in the morning on Saturday and come back Sunday in the evening. So the rates is what you can see there, the transportation, accommodation. We'll have a conference in the retreat and we are going to discuss something very powerful. Okay. We are going to We Mega Zipline to have a full day adventure over there. Then we'll also enjoy food. We'll have mindfulness exercise. So we will also have a free couple counseling with me. So if you come with a couple, or if you are a couple, then your advantage or your benefit is that you are going to have a sit-down counseling session with me for free. I'm not going to charge you for anything. Okay. So and you just have to pay 300 cedis to secure your slots. We are working with only 28 people. Only 28 people. So you just have to pay 300 cedis to secure your slots. And you can pay the rest in installments. But we are going on the 20th and the 21st of December. So I want you to mark your calendar on that. So I want to share our contact with you so you can have access to it. So anytime you want to get in touch with us, you can do so. Okay, please hold on. Okay. So, good. So these are our contacts. If you want to make any inquiries, you can pick up the WhatsApp number there. You can send us a mail. If you want to support us financially too, we do a lot of activities as an institution. We go for school outreaches. We donate some items to people and all of that. We also organize a lot of projects and programs. So we'll need your financial support to get that going. If you want to reach us on social media, you can reach my personal handle at Godwin Amuzu on all social media platforms. You can get me there on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp. I say WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and all of that. You can get us there. But for the person who asks for the number, so you can pick the inquiry or the counseling WhatsApp number. You can send us a message there. If you go to our website too at sfssglobal.org, you can also find us there. And if you want to send us a message through the website too, you can do that and we will attend to you. So please, the retreat is coming on. We are working with 28 people. You secure your spot by paying let me not say just, you secure your slot by paying 300 cedis, then you are good to go. Then the rest will pay in installment till the getting to to the retreat itself. Okay. Because of the time, I would have loved to take questions from you guys because today the things I thought are really in depth. But again, because of the time, I want us to end it here. Then we'll continue next month. Okay. But reach out to us on social media. We'll be uploading this content on YouTube. So you can reach out at Godwin Amuzu on all our social media platform and we can interact there. Okay. Okay. Mr. Felix, please can you close us? Can you pray with us to close us?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
And please, I asked the question over there. I said the double. No, you have to do something for double. For double.
So there's something I'm doing for the double is the free counseling I'm giving to you.
Okay.
Like I said, already the amount has been subsidized. So if we subsidize for double, why?
Okay, I understand.
Thank you. Oh, someone
All right,
also
thank you
asked a
very much.
question in the chat. So someone said, please, I was busy with something. What are we arguing? Okay, please, we are not arguing. No. Is it good to marry early if the lady is willing to follow your vision? Is it risky to decide to this son of consolation, please pick our number and message us on WhatsApp. Okay, and let's talk from there. I'm so sorry I couldn't answer this question. Okay. I value your time and I don't want to spend so much of it. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Felix.
All right. So please, we are praying. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you this evening. We are so grateful for such a wonderful meeting that we get to imbibe many things and get to contribute and learn more. We know marriage is a sacred thing and you have ordained it for our lives. Father, we commit our activities into your hands. We commit SFS into your hands that is blessed, is going beyond the borders of this country and traveling all over the world.
Amen.
We pray that it's fulfilling its purpose in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
We pray that everybody that came for this meeting is not living the same. They are moving in understanding. They are having revelation of knowledge, and they are understanding marriage and relationship very well. That they will not fall victim of or praise onto relationships or marriage that will destroy their lives. We thank you, Father, for this wonderful grace you've given to us. We thank you for making us victors in everything we do. We are so grateful unto you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.